Hello and welcome to the Google Hangouts and Google Plus Communities section of our GAFE suite webinars that we are doing. So Google Plus is what I refer to as Google Plus is kind of like Pinterest and probably Pinterest and Facebook in a professional setting for Weld RE4. So when we talk about PLNs and personal learning networks, Google Plus is a great way to find out like people that are what teachers around the world are doing, and professionally. And we use it in our district quite a bit to keep everybody updated about what's going on in other classrooms around the district. So when you go to Google Plus, and the way to get there is to go to your app grid and click on this G Plus community. You'll see that it kind of looks kind of like if you're a part of Facebook. You can go ahead and you can post anything, and you can say hanging out on Hangouts today, and I can decide who I want to post that to. I can post it to just friends. So if I want to post it to Curtis, I can just send him a message. I can also share a video with him. Since we're going to be talking about Hangouts, I'm going to go ahead and find a video on that. There we go, Google Hangouts, the complete guide. I'm going to add that video, and I'm going to go ahead and share that with him. And so it's one way to share videos, and you can see that it's shared privately. Other things like I follow ISTE, so anytime that ISTE posts something, it comes to my home screen. I follow several teachers around the district. So one thing teachers are using, Miss Orr is a teacher over at Grandview, and she is using Google Plus Communities as her way of communicating with parents. And she uploads, here's her Valentine's Day letter, and she said, look for this letter to come home today. And so she has it in digital format, and then she's putting it in the Kids Friday folder. And so she's able to post announcements. She's able to post student work, and then tag just certain parents on that. And we've seen that used a lot in this district this year, and parents are really happy about it. So it's a good way to create a group with your parent contacts at the beginning of the year, and then to send out information to them, and they can sign up for notifications to get them on their phones. And so anytime that you post something about your classroom, it notifies them in their phone, and it's a quick way to get, if you're taking pictures of a class party and you want only parents to see it, instead of putting it up on your website for the whole world to see it, it's a neat way to have like a smaller community. So that's all within Google Plus. There's also, you can edit your profile and what you look like to the world. It's kind of like your Facebook page. But it's just for your Weld RE4. And then if you share that, of course, you can see all of these are Google Plus Hangouts on Air that we've done. If you've been following our Toolbox series, you can see anytime that I do a Google Hangout on Air, it ends up posting to my Google Plus account, which makes it nice to be able to share that with teachers. If they say, hey, can you tell me more about Google Docs? I can just say, sure, and I'll jump on here and I'll forward that link to them. It's a really great way to get information out to people. So you can create circles and within like your contacts, and so maybe you want to have a circle for, let me get out of profile and go to home. So I have I've got family, I've got acquaintances, I have people just that I'm following. I can share things out to my ETIL circle or to my silver lining circle. So people that I like, certain materials I only want to share to those people. So something I want to point out right away is that students do not have access to Google+. Google+ is only for staff members. It's 18 and older, and so we just don't open it up to students at all. We figure they have enough social media without having to have this too. So this is really a professional, and then we have teachers that have brought parents in too. So it's an adult community. And so you really wouldn't interact with students at all on this, except for what I'm going to show you within those communities and events. But Hangouts is what we want to mostly spend our time on today, because this is what we're finding is Google's answer to Skype, really. And it's better, I think, than Skype because of the collaborative nature of it. So if you're on a Google Hangout, it's a way that you can have a conversation with anybody around the world. And so we have teachers that are bringing in curators from the Windsor Museum of, or Windsor, the Colorado Museum of Natural History has met with some of our students. We have pen pals that are meeting virtually and across from state to state. We have teachers that are changing their Flat Stanley projects to actually like talking to their, bringing grandparents online and into the classroom to have a conversation with the kids, that they can ask live questions to a grandparent that lives in Florida for the winter. Or we have astronauts. I just heard about this the other day, but astronauts that are actually like connecting with kids while they're up in the space station, and it just goes on and on what we can do with Google Hangouts. Last year at Severance Middle School, we had students connecting with a professor that was on the battlefield of the Revolutionary War, and he had preloaded the lesson with primary sources, and kids were able to see and talk to him and ask him questions, and he would walk to a rock and point at the rock and say, "Can you guys see this rock? Look at primary source number 3. Do you see those 3 soldiers using this rock to hold up their guns? Well, this is the rock that's in that picture. And look at this fence. This fence was here during the Revolutionary War, and it's been restored in the same exact place that you see in primary source number 5." And it was like the kids were actually there. They were on a field trip, but it was so cool, and I just love the opportunities that are available. So let's talk about Google Hangouts. There's 2 types of Google Hangouts. There's ones where you can just do a video call, and you can get there by going to hangouts.google.com, or you can go to your app grid and go to Google Plus and go to Home and go to Hangouts right here. And so, or you can be in your email and you can think, I need to call a 4th grade teacher across the district, but I don't want to, and I'd love to talk to her after school, and maybe we can get all the 4th grade teachers together after school, but we don't want to drive. So let's just all get on a Hangout and problem solve this. How are we going to connect kids to Colorado government? So I'm going to get on here. And my friend Curtis is in the other room, and he's going to help me demonstrate this. So I'm going to just look him up. I'm going to call him. I can either use Hangouts to have a little chat on the side, so it has the chat feature. So I could say, "Hey Curtis, ready to hang out?" And he's going to be able to see that chat. I think you can see the chat if you actually have your email or your Gmail open and see Curtis responded. So you can tell over here he has a green dot by his name, and that means he's on his Gmail and I'm able to talk to him. Trevor's on his. I could bring him in too. And Shelly Pringer looks like she's available. So I can look and see if my friends are available before I actually even call him. Okay, and I'm going to say, okay, here we go. And then I'm going to let him know that I'm going to call him, and then I'm going to click on this video button. and it's going to go ahead and call Curtis. And right now it says he's joining. And there's my friend. Hi, Curtis. Can you hear me?
Hey.
Oh, and we can hear him too. So we can go ahead and have a chat here. Or if maybe I called Curtis because we need to collaborate on a document and we just want to kind of virtually hang out, I can go up to this green screen share button on my Hangouts and I can share my screen with him. And obviously he and I have been working on we've been working on this doc. We're trying to do all of these videos for our new LMS digital classroom. And so I could say, hey, Curtis, can you jump on the doc with me? And I can see he's on there with me. And we can just jump on and we can be working together and he can be making comments. And we can say, what do we want to do about this Google Drive? And so it's kind of cool. We can share documents that way. And then when I'm done, I just press stop. Stop screen sharing, and it just takes me back to me. So, Curtis, anything exciting you want to talk about?
No.
Okay. What I can do and we can have up to 10 different people on here at the same time. So you can invite 10 friends, and they can be in district or out of district. They just have to have people out of district need a Gmail account in order to interact with this Google Hangout. But
I think they changed it to 15. Did they change that to 15?
I thought they changed it to 15. Then I just Googled it before this and it said 10. So
It's 10. All right.
yeah, so I think it could be up to 15. So I can also up here I can turn my camera off and it'll just put on my sweet smiley summer face about 30 pounds ago. Or I can turn it back on. I can mute myself if I've got some distraction going on in the back and there's 15 people on a Hangout. Sometimes we ask people to mute the microphone. Or say Curtis and I are just having fun and we say, hey, you know who would be really great? We need to invite some people to this conversation. So who should we invite, Curtis? Who do you think is at their desk at 3:25 on a Friday? Only you and I think.
Oh, I don't know. Crank or Swafford probably are.
Oh, we could try Swafford. Let's see. So we can try Christy Swafford and see if she's at her desk. And we're going to go ahead and invite her. And you'll see up here it'll say invitation posted and it'll show me over here that I'm in a video call and I've invited Christy. And I don't know if she'll join us. She may have rightfully bugged out at 3:15. But if she doesn't join us, we can just keep bugging her and keep inviting her. Although she'll get an invitation in her Google Plus to show that she had been invited to a video call. So, Curtis,
And I wanted to point out, I just Googled it because one of our test questions is how many can be on a Hangout max. Now, it is 10 if it's a regular account. If it's a Google Apps for Education or a Google Apps for Business account, it is 15 max.
Wow, that's cool. 15, did you say 1-5?
So there's a test answer, everyone.
Wow, I hope you were paying attention, everybody. Okay, so that's great. I'm glad you clarified that, Curtis. See, that's why we do Hangouts, because two brains are better than one, right? Or
Right.
two people with access to Google so they can figure out answers are better than one. So, all right, Curtis. Well, I'll let you hang up if you want to get to work on some other things, and I'm going to just show some of the features other than screen sharing. So,
all right, have fun, everyone.
see ya. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's just off. And just because he's off doesn't mean I can't re-invite him. So I could go back up and invite him if I wanted him to come back. So think about the opportunity you would have to show, to invite anybody into your classroom and show your students things that are happening around the world, Oh, there's Christy. She did join us. I'll go ahead and invite Curtis. Christy, can you hear us?
Yes.
You're still at work.
I know. just looked down and saw a notification. I was like, what is this?
Well, to be honest, we're recording for our digital classroom. We're recording Google Hangouts, and we were just like, "Ooh, who could we invite to show how it works?" So everybody, if you
Okay.
don't know Christy Swafford, this is Christy Swafford. She's at Windsor Middle School, and she's a rock star. So, well, thanks for joining us. We just were showing how it works. So,
Okay.
have a good
Well,
weekend. We'll see you, hun. All right, so she's out. Um, so again, the screen share, you're able to grab a screen from um, anywhere and you're able to show that, which is nice. So you can work on things together, or you can actually have like a PowerPoint presentation up or a Google presentation and be working through that together, or even just being the demonstrator. So we were thinking about how classes, at Severance Middle School could join classes at Windsor Middle School and have one teacher teaching and have both classes learning. So, think about all the experts around, not just, the world, but think about right inside of our district that we could tap into using virtual videos. So, I'm going to go ahead and get out of this Hangout. And I want to talk to you really quickly about the other piece of Google Hangouts is Google Hangouts on Air. Now that's a little different. It's very much like, and I'm just going to type in Google Hangouts on Air. What's different about Google Hangouts on Air is they are recorded. So if you're ever thinking that you're going to want to do a Google Hangout, that you're going to want to record and be able to show, maybe you're going to have a student that's going to be absent, you will definitely want to do a Google Hangout on Air. That way it automatically saves it to your Google Plus page as a YouTube video, and it also saves, of course, onto YouTube where you can then download it and edit it if you need to. But I love this feature because it just automatically like it says here, creates a video that you can go ahead and watch over and over. So unless all of your students are going to be there, which is pretty rare, you may want to think about doing a Hangout on Air if you're doing it with an expert, or if you think you might ever reuse it. And it's pretty much the same. You just create it and you give it a name. You can put a description. You can choose whether you're going to watch it right now or if you're going to watch it at a later time. So you can set this up. So maybe if you were planning to meet with a scientist out of, Ball Aerospace, maybe you would actually set it up for, you can set it up for next Tuesday. We're going to meet at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's going to be about 30 minutes. It might be an hour. And then you can put the scientists' emails in there. You could put maybe all the 7th graders around the district are going to watch. So you'd put every 7th grade teacher on here. And don't forget to include Curtis and I if you're doing something super cool like that. But that would be your audience. And then once you share that, you've got to have all this filled out before it's going to actually let you share it. It's going to give you a URL, and you can share that URL with those people or with anybody then, and people can join your Hangout whether they are invited or not. They can come to your Hangout through that URL. So that's a really great tool. And if you create a Hangout on Air, it will also embed it onto your calendar. So let me go to my calendar. I'll show you what that looks like. So you can see here, I did a Google Hangout on Air. So it's going to put that right in my Google Calendar. And it's going to say, it's going to ask me, am I going if I invite someone? So this is how you can tell if people are going to join you or not. And then I can view that on Google Plus. It's going to take me right to that event. And this is the Google Slides event that I created. From here, I can go to this links button and I can copy that link to my YouTube page, I can embed that video with this HTML code in a website, or this is exactly how we've been doing the embedding for our LMS digital classroom videos. We just copy this embed code and put it in the LMS. So this is a great tool if you're actually going to use Canvas as a teacher. So you can copy that, you can open a new link or a new page, paste it in, and it's going to take me right to that video.
To Google Slides.
And I can watch the video that I made. So great way to share that. So again, that's kind of the ins and outs of Google Plus, and especially Google Hangouts and Google Hangouts on Air. So I hope that answers all your questions, and I'm glad Curtis came in to give you the ultimate answer to the test question. So signing off.